The WNBA continues to brag about physical play. All the while, they have players in this league that is going to get people hurt. Last night, Skylar Diggins came very close to being really hurt. There's a difference between physical play and being downright dirty as hell. And let's be honest, there is precedent for DJane Carrington.
The WNBA is reaching a boiling point. Headlines celebrate the league's increased physicality, but behind the PR spin, a more disturbing pattern is emerging, one that many believe is spiraling out of control. At the center of it all is DJane Carrington, a player who's becoming less known for her stats and more infamous for her recklessness. This season alone, Carrington has delivered 3 flagrant fouls, injured not just opponents, but her own teammate, and triggered a post-game confrontation that ended with a referee calling for security. These incidents aren't isolated. They're piling up fast and sparking urgent conversations about player safety and the league's willingness to enforce consequences.
DJane, you're always in a dirty play. DJane, once again, here we are today. Oh, DJane.
Carrington's actions have left players bruised, fans outraged, and analysts stunned. Is this aggressive defense or dangerous behavior disguised as hustle? The numbers and footage suggest something far more serious. Comment out of control if this season has gone too far, and stay tuned, because what happened next shocked even her biggest defenders.
And I'm starting to have that feeling when it comes to DJane Carrington and dirty basketball, DJane Carrington and flagrant fouls. How come every time I'm watching a flagrant foul, you're committing the foul? How come every time I'm watching a dirty play, you in the play? DJane.
In a league filled with elite scorers and lockdown defenders, DJane Carrington leads in a category no player wants to own: flagrant fouls. Through the first month of the WNBA season, Carrington has racked up 3 separate flagrant fouls, setting her apart not for dominance, but for dangerous play. Most WNBA athletes can go multiple seasons without receiving a single flagrant. Carrington has managed 3 before the season's halfway mark.
Ball's being pushed down court. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, this will be a better angle of it. I think we'll be able to see how hard the foul is right here. That's a hard foul, and she does get her in the face when she's coming down.
Each incident has sparked backlash from fans, commentators, and even former players who see a clear pattern of recklessness. Her fouls haven't just been hard, they've been borderline violent. Critics argue these aren't isolated plays, but part of a larger identity forming around Carrington as the league's most dangerous enforcer.
Basically reached around Shepard's body, but the fact that she went for the basketball and for the block really
The basketball play.
Yeah, it is. And she ends up getting Shepard in the face, the nose. I don't know which takes precedent. Oh, see, it's the hit the ball and then it's the pull back. They're showing it on the Jumbotron at a different angle that sort of looked like, watch after Carrington goes for the block, watch her pull back right here. And that's the part that I don't know if you separate that.
The term physical play has long been part of basketball's DNA, but the distinction between physical and reckless is becoming harder to ignore. And what makes the concern even more serious is the timing, because this pattern didn't begin in 2025. It started much earlier, during a high-stakes playoff game that changed everything. On May 21st, the Dallas Wings faced off against the Minnesota Lynx in what began as a routine regular season matchup. But within minutes, DJane Carrington turned that game into a case study in chaos.
Was it a flagrant 1? Yes. Could it have been called a flagrant 2? Yes. Was it more dangerous to Paige Bueckers than anyone else? Because Paige Bueckers was the one who was the person who had to break Jessica Shepard's fall. Could she have blown out her teammate's knee? Yeah. Yeah. Like, that is what, like, realistically, that is what the conversation should be about. Because she wanted the Kiki Iriafen viral meme. Because as soon as she did it, look at what she does as soon as she did it. As soon as she did, she walks towards Jessica Shepard and just tries to do the Kiki Iriafen face.
The pivotal moment came when Minnesota's Jessica Shepard sprinted down the court on a fast break, eyeing an uncontested layup. From behind, Carrington came charging in, an explosive attempt to break up the play. Instead of cleanly contesting the shot, her swipe missed the ball entirely and made direct contact with Shepard's face. The result was brutal. Shepard crashed to the court, And in a bizarre twist, Carrington's own teammate Paige Bueckers absorbed part of the impact while trying to break Shepard's fall. Bueckers would also be shaken up from a play. This wasn't just a hard foul. It was a dangerous sequence that endangered multiple players, teammate and opponent alike.
Like, I'm sorry, you don't get to plow through somebody's back, almost injure a teammate, and then say, yeah. And then, like, claim that you've done nothing. You've done nothing. Like, and people are like, stand on business. She's like trying to laugh at him. Like, no, you're just Pat Bev. You're not Draymond, you're Pat Bev. Like, realistically, you're Pat Bev. That's it. And like, look, I mean this when I say this. It was a dangerous play only for Paige.
Commentators replayed the footage from several angles, each one confirming the same disturbing truth. Carrington's so-called defensive move had zero control. Social media erupted, labeling it a trash play and demanding a suspension. What was initially ruled a flagrant one foul drew widespread disagreement, with many analysts calling for it to be upgraded. But this was only the beginning of a trend that would grow darker as the season went on.
Let's watch it, and this will give us a couple of different angles.
Stretches of games. There's your tip. Diggins, who's still fast, gets down the floor, buries it, draws the foul, but is shaken up.
Less than 2 weeks after the Shepard incident, DJane Carrington added another disturbing chapter to her growing highlight reel of dangerous plays, this time against Skylar Diggins and the Seattle Storm. With the fourth quarter winding down and the Wings trailing, Diggins broke loose in transition, gliding toward what looked like an easy fast break layup. But before she could get the shot off, Carrington came sprinting from behind and delivered a jarring blow straight to Diggins' head. The impact sent Diggins sprawling to the court in clear pain.
There was a little wind up there, and there was some follow through. This will probably get upgraded. Now, Carrington was trying to make a play on the ball, but by rule, the wind up and follow through are trigger signals for the officials that this will likely get upgraded.
Absolutely dirty, reckless abandon.
Officials immediately called a flagrant one, but slow-motion replays revealed the contact was anything but incidental. Carrington's wind-up and follow-through, both red flags under league rules, signaled intent, not accident. What stunned viewers most was how preventable the play had been. Carrington had no realistic path to the ball, yet still committed to a hit that placed another star player at risk.
And there's Skylar on the floor. At first glance, this might not look too bad, but when we get some different angles of it, you just see how this is clearly, definitely, 100% not a basketball play. Let's take a look.
Up and follow through are
we got DJane
signals for the officials that this will likely get upgraded.
DJane, did you forget what sport you're playing? You know this is basketball, right?
In post-game reactions, fans flooded comment sections with words like reckless, predatory, and embarrassing. Comparisons to notorious players like Draymond Green and Dillon Brooks resurfaced, but even those fell short of capturing how out of line this sequence appeared. The fact that Diggins needed extended medical attention only intensified the outcry. But this wasn't the only dangerous move Carrington made that game. Just minutes earlier, she nearly caused another serious injury, this time by targeting a player's landing space mid-jump.
You don't come charging in from behind like that and throw up both hands and slam both hands back down like that if you're not intentionally trying to, in my opinion, do something. Yeah, is she trying to disrupt the play? Sure. Is she being dirty to do it? Yeah. In my opinion, yes. So it was upgraded right here to a flagrant one. And, of course, DJane cannot not show her ass on the sideline in some ridiculous virtue signal.
The foul's been upgraded to a flagrant one.
It got updated to a flagrant, and she's over here meditating, knowing damn good and well everybody's looking at her. She's wanting that attention.
2 free throws.
There it is right there. I mean, good God. I mean, there's at some point you just got to believe that certain players' antics are somewhat just premeditated.
Earlier in that same game against the Seattle Storm, DJane Carrington nearly added another name to her list of victims, this time Gabby Williams. Midway through the contest, Williams rose for a clean jump shot, her form flawless, her focus locked in. But just as she descended, Carrington slid directly into her landing zone. Her foot came down dangerously close to Williams' own, a textbook violation of one of the game's most sacred unspoken rules: never undercut a shooter. The result? Williams rolled her ankle, winced in pain, and had to be evaluated by the team's medical staff. While she avoided a serious injury, the scare was enough to send a message. Carrington's presence on the court was becoming a liability for everyone involved. Broadcasters didn't hold back. One analyst flatly called the move reckless, while another questioned if Carrington had any regard for player safety at all. The social media reaction was instant, with clips of the foul racking up thousands of views under captions like, "How many times is this going to happen?" and "She's a walking injury risk."
DJane Carrington is clearly a dirty player. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if Chin, what do you have going on in that mind of yours? Are you okay? DJane, are you okay? DJane, are you okay? Are you okay? DJane, are you okay? DJane, are you okay? Are you okay? Yes, DJane. Get it together, collect your thoughts, collect your emotions, because the last thing we need to see you is crash out.
Combined with the Diggins headshot just moments later, the message was loud and clear. Carrington's style of play wasn't evolving, it was escalating. And for many fans, the entire season had started to feel like deja vu, because her reputation for dirty tactics had already been sealed a year earlier in one unforgettable playoff game. Long before DJane Carrington was being accused of endangering opponents and teammates in the 2025 season, her reputation was already under scrutiny. The turning point came during the 2024 WNBA playoffs in a highly anticipated first-round matchup between the Connecticut Sun and the Indiana Fever. All eyes were on rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, making her playoff debut. The atmosphere was electric, expectations sky high, until a single, violent moment flipped the script.
As everyone else has seen this angle, I'm calling her in, and I'm saying to her, I need answers.
While defending Clark early in the game, Carrington's hand struck directly into Clark's face. The result was immediate and devastating. Clark fell to the floor clutching her eye, and moments later, the cameras captured what would become the season's most controversial image, Clark with a visibly swollen, darkening black eye.
When you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
It wasn't a graze or an incidental bump. It was a direct hit that shifted the tone of the game and left Clark clearly rattled for the rest of the series. Despite Carrington claiming afterward that the contact wasn't intentional, the footage showed otherwise, a follow-through that had no business being that high, that forceful, or that careless. The Indiana Fever would go on to lose the series, and many questioned whether Clark's injury had thrown off the momentum entirely. What should have been a crowning moment for a rising star became a cautionary tale about unchecked aggression.
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me. But no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her. So obviously it's never intentional. That's not even like the type of player that I am.
That black eye didn't just mark Clark's face. It marked Carrington's legacy. From that moment on, every hard foul she committed carried the weight of that incident. And in 2025, the pattern was only getting harder to ignore.
So yeah.
Did you and Marina kind of laugh about it afterwards? It looked like there was later on in the game they caught you guys laughing about it.
No, I just told you I didn't even know I hit her, so I can't laugh about something I didn't know happened.
On May 30th, DJane Carrington crossed a line that few professional athletes ever approach, not during a game, but after one. Following a hard-fought loss to the Chicago Sky, the Dallas Wings were heading off the court when Carrington approached veteran referee Roy Goulbain. What began as a standard post-game exchange quickly spiraled into something far more disturbing. According to multiple eyewitnesses, Carrington's tone and body language became so intense that Goulbain motioned for arena security, not as a precaution, but as a necessity.
WNBA player who tried to rip Caitlin Clark's eye out. Zach Dean over at Outkick, hilarious. They tried to rip Caitlin Clark's eye out, has security called on her by ref. That's right. The referee had to call security on DJane Carrington. I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, hell, who wants to catch a stray eye gouge, a scoopage of the eyeball out, watching your eyeball roll across the floor because somebody's mad at one of your calls?
Within seconds, a security guard was stationed between Carrington and the officiating crew. This wasn't a chaotic brawl or a bench-clearing altercation. This was a one-player confrontation that escalated enough to require intervention. For context, WNBA referees handle passionate athletes game after game without flinching. But this moment was different. The image of a referee needing backup to speak to single-player stun fans and commentators alike.
Check this out right here. Yeah, you see this guy right here? Right in this gentle area? You see this guy? The ref asked this dude to step out here. All right? Now, Cheryl Swoops wants this referee fired. She wants him fired. Look, he felt something. He felt something was amiss. Of course, Cheryl Swoops is defending DJane Carrington.
Carrington later claimed on social media that it was simply a civil conversation, labeling the response a microaggression. But for many, that only deepened the concern. It wasn't just about this one moment. It was about a larger pattern of hostility, denial, and misplaced blame. Players across the league were beginning to avoid eye contact, and now referees seemed just as wary. The game against the Sky didn't just end with a loss. It ended with a spotlight on Carrington's growing volatility. And for many fans, this marked the tipping point. What could possibly happen next that the league hadn't already seen from her?
DJane Carrington, we are not even 10 games into the season. There are more times than not of DJane playing dirty, get a flagrant foul. Oh my goodness, DJane, what's wrong with you, man? Is this what your coaches condone? Is this what your coaches, like, Christy 2.0, whatever we want to call this coach? I mean, are we condoning this?
By the time June arrived, DJane Carrington wasn't just a controversial figure. She had become the league's most polarizing presence. 3 flagrant fouls, 2 player injuries, and 1 referee calling for security in a single month. That's not a streak. That's a crisis. What made it worse wasn't just the volume of incidents, but the unapologetic attitude that followed each one. Whether it was swiping at Jessica Shepard's face and injuring Paige Bueckers in the process, flattening Skylar Diggins from behind, or nearly rolling Gabby Williams' ankle with a careless closeout, Carrington's response always seemed to deflect, deny, or mock. From meditating on the sidelines after a flagrant call to sarcastic posts on social media, the optics were clear. There was no remorse, only performance. Fans began circulating compilation videos titled DJ's Greatest Hits, not as praise, but as warnings. Commentators across sports networks questioned how many more incidents needed to happen before league officials stepped in with real consequences. And still, Carrington continued to play without suspension. Teammates began looking hesitant during closeouts. Opponents looked over their shoulders after every screen. Even the referees appeared visibly tense. This wasn't about toughness anymore, it was about player safety. And the comparisons to enforcers like Draymond Green or Dennis Rodman lost meaning because even they didn't injure their own teammates. Carrington was now a walking liability, and the WNBA had a decision to make: keep letting it slide or draw the line before something even worse happened. The 2025 WNBA season was supposed to be a celebration of rising talent and record-breaking growth. Instead, one player's conduct has sparked a debate the league can no longer avoid. DJane Carrington's season has become a case study in unchecked aggression, from black eyes to body blows, from injuring opponents to knocking down teammates, and from hard fouls to post-game confrontations that now involve arena security. This isn't just about one bad night or a handful of unfortunate plays. It's a sustained pattern of dangerous behavior that places everyone around her at risk. While players like Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull are pushing the league forward with elite skill and professionalism, Carrington is dragging it backward with chaos, controversy, and a complete disregard for safety. The WNBA now stands at a crossroads. Will it reward physicality that crosses the line, or will it finally protect the athletes who play the right way? The answer to that question may define not just Carrington's future, but the integrity of the league itself. Comment below whether Carrington deserves a suspension or worse. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because more truth is coming in the next story.